Here's Johnny.
Welcome to my world, bitch.
Hi, I'm Chucky, and I'm your friend to the end. Heidi-ho.
And when you're down here with me,
You blow door.
Like scary movies?
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
What up, film fans? Happy Thursday. Welcome to a new episode of Friday the 14th podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Juan, and I am joined by the other host.
What up? I'm Franco.
Hello, I am the 4K bad guy. At the 4K bad guy.
What is up, guys? How's y'all's week been?
It's been swell.
Well,
Swell.
Pretty fast.
Yeah, I did.
That's-
Fast.
that's how you like it, though, Nick, right? Nice and fast.
As fast.
On to the weekend.
On to the next, yeah.
Living life in the fast lane.
Speaking of fast lane, last week, man, Nick, we had a topic of discussions. Last week we talked all about The Innkeepers, which was a Ty West film. If you guys want to go check that out, you can listen to it and watch right here on this YouTube page, Even Swap Productions YouTube channel. You can go listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts at. Just search the Cinema Movie Podcast and click on the Friday the 14th tab. Social media, you guys can also get on the social media tab. Send us some comments. Send us in your recent watches and maybe something you want to recommend. Instagram / Friday the 14th podcast. Social media also at Emaswa Productions on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Just search any of those in that tab and send us in some comments. So it's been a minute, Franco, since we've seen you. How's everything been? Good?
Everything's good. I just needed a little break in between time. And also just came back from Disney, so that's another thing.
Man, you got out of there just in time, it sounds like. Did you go to Florida or California?
Florida. So yeah.
Oof.
We were there from the 1st through the 7th, and I think the hurricane came on the 9th, so 2 days
Ah,
after.
good news. Well, not good news for Florida, but good news you're home safe and where you need to be. Let's talk some recent watches since it's been a minute since we all three got together on the same stream. Nick, you want to go first, man? You check anything out recently that's fun or worth recommending?
Your leaked video I saw online. What did I see, honestly? Okay, yeah. I want to go check out the second Joker movie. Didn't hate it. I mean, if we leave it at that.
It's a good way to start.
Yeah. But then again, I'm kind of deep into the musical movies. So not the worst thing I've seen. I checked out Bad Blood. Was decent watch there.
Favorite match?
Huh?
What was your favorite match?
Probably the Hell in a Cell match.
Show's dope. It's classic.
I like that one, and of course, I did enjoy. I usually enjoy seeing Jacob Fatu do his thing out there, so it was fun watching him at the main event.
On that, I just want to bring up since Jacob Fatu. Do y'all like? Have y'all been watching? Do y'all like what he's been doing, which is like no selling shit, or are y'all getting tired of it?
I don't mind it. It always depends on what promotion you watch and stuff. For who appreciates it, who doesn't. But I like what he does. I think he's next big thing.
Yeah,
No
I
selling.
like it, but I saw someone complain about it, and I was like, it's aight.
I mean, you get that with every monster type person. I mean, they tried doing that solo, but then of course, solo quickly became this not really into any person.
Mariah, what up, Mariah?
But everything with Jacob too, really honestly. just expressions. It's pretty funny since I saw this funny video on Insta. It's like one of those like video game type videos, and he's just running through everybody. But movie wise, I did check out Halloween 1 and 2. Then earlier today I was kind of rewatching Terrifier 2. And of course the movie we're reviewing today.
The Curse
Fun stuff.
of Michael Myers. You know, Nick, last week I said I was going to go through and watch 1 through 5. I did not. I'm going to save those for H2O later on in the month. But I did watch this one today. I'll go next. I checked out The Joker as well. I also checked out what we're watching today for Friday the 14th. And for a little movie club I'm in, I checked out Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. I'm on episode 2 of The Penguin, so kind of a slow week for me so far. What about you, Franco?
It's been minutes that I've been on. So right now I'm watching Heels on Netflix. I think I'm like halfway into the first season, and it's pretty enjoyable. I'd recommend that. Watch Terrifier 1 and 2 and All Hallows Eve to get prepared for Terrifier 3. Recommend Terrifier 2. Probably the best one so far.
I haven't seen the first one. I've seen the second one, though.
How dare you?
I saw one match in Bad Blood, which was Drew McIntyre and CM Punk, and that one was a real good match. It was a classic. But I think that's pretty much all I've seen so far. Recently.
Overall, Bad Blood pay-per-view, what'd you guys think out of 5? What would you give it?
The Rock coming out, I'd give it a 10, even though he didn't do shit.
Sure, one spot. What about the deleted scenes with Kevin Owens?
The deleted scenes?
Uh,
Did that whole show feel like a 2-match card?
I didn't watch all of it, so I don't know.
well, the women's match, that was how many? It was only one, maybe. No, there's 2 of them.
Yeah,
There was Rhea and Liv
and then
with Dom up
Nia.
in the cage. Nia and Bailey.
Have you guys seen McMahon yet? I know, Nick, did you watch it?
I watched that too. Yeah,
No, I have
Great,
not gotten around to that.
I enjoyed it, but it's just a rehash of what stuff most everybody already knew. Nothing new or anything. And
What
Bret
his
Hart-
name's Vincent Kennedy McMahon? What the fuck? Oh man.
I also watched the Halloween today, and then the first Halloween, but Rob Zombies.
The zombie.
I don't know why, I just put it on.
Got you in the mood?
Yeah, I just saw it there on TV. I was like, yeah, I'll put this shit on. And
You were right about one thing. It is no.
You reminded me, since you threw out the word TV. Actually, I was watching some stuff on AMC. I had also checked out the first 3 Final Destination movies.
how's it going, guys? I hated H6, but it gets a bit better every time I see it.
I mean, depends on which cut you're watching.
Which cut are we reviewing?
The theatrical cut.
The theatrical, because producer's not really available anywhere
Okay,
unless you own a physical.
I don't know what I watched.
You watch something on the Orange and Black brand. Oh wait, that's banned here in the state.
What
Apparently,
did you stream? Would you stream it on? It was on Paramount Plus, right?
Yeah.
Which is weird. These movies, if you guys watch along and play along with us, all the Halloween movies are literally like spaced out. I don't know what. It's always been that way. They're not on one single streaming service yet. I don't think they ever will be either. It's which is weird. So most of
Yeah,
them,
I think Rob Zombie's Halloween was on Peacock.
Peacock. So is the I think the Blumhouse ones are on Peacock as well. So
Yeah.
Universal, NBC.
yeah. But let's not waste any more time. Let's dig into the meat and potatoes of this episode. Today we're talking Halloween 6, The Curse of Michael Myers. On IMDb, it has a 4.7 out of 10, an 8% on Rotten Tomatoes, a 10 out of 100 on Meta, and then a 2 out of 5 on Letterboxd. With a September 29th, 1995 release date, the budget was $5 million, and it grossed a little over $15 million at the box office. Starring Donald Pleasance, Paul Rudd, Marion Hagen, Mitchell Ryan, and directed by Joe Chappelle. Not that Chappelle either. 6 years after Michael Myers last terrorized Haddonfield, he returns there in the pursuit of his niece, Jamie Lloyd, who has escaped with her newborn child, for which Michael and a mysterious cult have sinister plans. So, if you guys have not seen Halloween 4 and 5, this does take place right after 4 and 5. And it also goes together with the entire Michael Myers first franchise of I have to kill my entire family storyline. He has to finish the story. There you go. Thank you, Mr. Mitchell. So let's get it started, Nick and Franco. I chose this. This was my pick this week. Franco, I think you said this was your first and only time watching. Nick, do you remember the first time you seen it, and what was it like revisiting it for the podcast?
Back in 1995, honestly. No, I just fucking around. For the longest, I wouldn't say the longest time because even then I was like a kid, but I would always love watching the Halloween movies on AMC. They had the whole Fear Fest thing. But I mean, for the longest time, I only knew about the first 5. I didn't really know about the 3 movies that came after. I'm trying to think back to what year it was. Maybe, possibly when I was in junior high. I remember it was like Up Next, the Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers. Like, curse? What is that? I only know the first 5. So, but I don't even think I even saw it from that point. That was the first time I found out about it. Probably when I was like 13 or 14. Well, that's when I started actually collecting physical media, horror movies.
Yeah, for some reason, kind of the same. Around the same time, like 5 or 6, right when this came out. Checked it out on VHS, and this was the first one I actually checked out. So I think that's kind of why I hold this a little bit higher than a lot of other people, because this is the first one I checked out. This was my introduction to Michael Myers. So, and with it only being an hour and 20 minutes, every time I rewatch it, this movie just kind of flashes by real quick. So, yeah, let's dig into it. That's true. Travis says AMC would always play 4 and 5 together, but would rarely play 6. That's true. And this is also on AMC Plus, I believe, too, if you guys want to check it out. Just like Nick said. Go ahead.
Which timeline was this on again? You said it was 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Is 3 part of the timeline? I thought 3 was
That's its own separate timeline. Technically.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What?
Well, I mean, yeah, technically it's in its own separate timeline, but like if you ever got them back on VHS together, or even now in some of the bundles, it's included with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then that piece of shit we don't mention that is 8 with the resurrection of Michael Myers with Busta Rhymes.
Trash.
So, yeah. Yeah, the first Michael I remember watching because of Paul Rudd. What do you guys think of that? Let's kick it off with the Paul Rudd introduction and the Paul Rudd conversation. He plays Tommy Doyle in this movie, which is Tommy Doyle is the kid from the original who watches Michael, do his thing. Let's talk about Paul Rudd, the ageless Paul Rudd.
Paul
I'm so
Rudd.
glad his acting got better over the years.
Kind of.
Yeah.
He is a little stale in this movie. This is
just a little.
also the very last movie that we would ever see Donald Pleasance in, as he shortly passed away a few weeks after the release date. So he is the iconic doctor that's in all the other Halloween movies before this one. So plot. Michael, like we said, in this whole timeline, he's trying to kill his family, his lineage, and boy, that's exactly what he does at the beginning of the movie. Jamie is the little girl from 4 and 5, so that he's chasing throughout the entire 4 and 5 films. So he remembers, and he finally catches up to her, gets her. Then he's after the baby.
The baby.
Yeah.
How old is Michael in this one?
How would you probably say he is? Let's say he said he was like 17, 18 in the first one. So that's what?
Well, he's like
18 and
21
21 and
when he
78.
starts the night, first night.
So 1995 is what? 12 years later. So he's like in his mid 30s.
Doing maths.
Thank you, Travis. I did not have to do the math. 38 in the movie.
You did a lifeline or what?
I
Phone a
did
friend.
do a lifeline. Phone a friend. Yeah, this one, Franco, you said you had a little hard time with the whole thing, or is it just because you do get to see Michael right off the bat, the music hits, he's got a few kills right away, and then it leads into her escaping into the airport/bus chamber.
Yeah, I tell y'all before, I don't like old movies. So I think that's what it is, just the vibe of it.
You say old?
Oh no.
Yeah, like old movies. That 1995 is still pretty old.
It's not that old.
I mean, I prefer movies from like 2000s and on.
Dang, that just
George
shows
says this is a guilty pleasure.
my age.
96 is the only exception with Scream. And
You're an old fart, Juan.
98.
Your
96.
age. Nah.
I'm ageless.
But it's also because I think the only movies I've seen of Halloween are the new ones, the 3 Halloween, 2018 Kills, Ends, the first one, and then I think Rob Zombie's first one. That's all I've ever seen of them. So whenever y'all picked this one, I was like, fuck, I don't know what the fuck's going on. We're 4 and 5.
So what do you think about like the first one then? Since that one was like in the 70s, do you enjoy watching that one, or is it kind of like homework when you do kind of check it out?
I enjoyed it. I mean, I know what to expect from it. I enjoyed it. I haven't seen part 2. I've been wanting to see part 2, but I just haven't.
Yeah, you missed out last season.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And Season of the Witch, I've been hearing good things about too, so I want to watch it. But I'm like, I don't know.
Oof.
Season of the Witch took forever for everyone to jump on that train.
Yeah, I'm Season of the Witches. I think I would compare it to like a fine wine. Like you have to have a taste for it. So it's good. It's no cheesiness. I think it's on Peacock though, is it not? Or is it on AMC Plus? I don't know.
It's on Peacock, I believe.
It's on somewhere, but it's in my shelves. Say,
It's in your shelves.
I don't know. You keep mentioning streaming, but realistically, I want them on physical.
So you do get, Michael finally catches up with Jamie, and now that part's finally out of the way. He's on his way to just let's find the baby. Let's take whatever he or she is. I think it's a boy, and speaking what would you guys think Michael would do if he finally caught the baby? You think he would take it back to the powers that be, which is the clan that we'll talk about later on in the movie? Or do you guys think he would like try to raise it to be one of his own? Like, call me Dada.
I don't know about raising his own, but if it was his choice, he probably would have straight up killed the child. But since it is tied into a cult, he would deliver it straight to the evil doctor.
The cult, was it just this movie, or was it also in 4 and 5? Because that's what threw me the fuck off.
Well, in part 5, that's when they start throwing the teasing of there being a cult because they show. I don't know. I'll get into spoilers for you, but they do show glances of the Man in Black. Namue.
Yeah. And I think they tease it in 5 just so they're like, hey, that's a way for him to, again, I don't want to do spoilers either, but that's a way for the story to continue. So in this one, they tell you the whole, shebang, like the cult is the one controlling Michael. Even in the radio show, if you listen, there's the radio show while Jamie's going through the bus station, and there's somebody who calls in and they're like, what if Michael was on the CIS payroll? Like, what if he was a government agent? And you sit there and think about it like, haha, that's a joke. He's just being funny with the radio disc jockey. And I'm like, being the conspiracy theory that I am, kind of like in my mind, I'm like, whoa, what if, a serial killer was on the government payroll? Like, I could really see something like that happening. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, maybe the U.S. government is the Man in Black, and they're controlling Michael for, like, I don't know, population control or something. Let's unleash him on the whole world.
Next generation.
So after Jamie gets it, like we said, he goes after the baby. You get introduced to the Strode house, or the Strodes. What do you guys think of that family? Which they definitely have their own problems.
I mean, they're all problematic, but the main villain of that family was definitely the dad. Was it John Strode? That's the same.
I like seeing him die.
Everyone loves seeing that part.
He had a good death.
He deserved that after that slap.
As soon as he slapped her, I was like, I can't wait till you die. Can't wait till he gets you.
It's like, you're a bastard. Don't you ever call me that. Especially in my own house.
Interesting conversation since it's your first time, Franco. Where'd you think the little blonde-headed kid, Danny, where'd you think he was going to fit into all this? Were you like, okay, he becomes the new Michael, or do you think he's just another kid that gets it?
I thought it was another kid that gets it.
Yes, me too. When I first saw this, I was like, I hate that little kid.
His facial expressions. He's trying to be the next Haley Joel Osment or Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah, he could have really had a Home Alone moment. I do like how this movie kind of pays some tributes or throwbacks to different like horror movies, with some of the lines in there or some of the way some of the characters look. I got real big Mrs. Voorhees feels with the mom, the Strode, Mrs. Strode, if you will. And this is also kind of introducing, not really kicking it off for the next film, but you haven't heard anything about the Strodes since the first Halloween movie, or the second or the fourth movie. Kind of, I don't know. The whole timeline is wanky, but the Strodes is the one who adopted Jamie Lee Curtis's character back in the day. So again, this whole timeline is 7 movies. A little too much. A little too girthy.
Too girthy for your liking.
Let's talk about some of the kills. Like I said, you got some pretty cool kills right off the bat. The nurse gets it. The guy who's like, "Get out of my truck." that Nebraska guy gets it. Paul Rudd. Do y'all think he was gonna die?
I think I was gonna die. Yeah.
Well, he didn't die this way, but dies in another way.
Spoilers, man. Thank you.
Oh shit!
Spoilers.
Sorry. I'm pretty sure everyone's already seen that movie.
Wait, Tommy dies? No.
What?
Doyle
Um,
rules.
Oh, Doyle rules. That's funny.
Mm.
Um,
What was it? They did try to reach out to him when they did when they were gonna do kills, but what was he doing at the time? The Ant-Man movie, I think.
which one?
Paul Rudd, because I think they came up to him to reprise his role in Kills, but he was probably doing Ant-Man at the time.
Did he
Or
turn
some
it down?
movie.
Or... I didn't know that they went after him.
I think they tried to go after him.
That's funny. That would have been pretty cool if he was in that one. But then it's like you have somebody who's now just as big or a bigger star than Jamie Lee Curtis, because he's making some money. I would like to say, or at least bring up the topic of conversation, The Mask. Franco, you haven't really seen 4 and 5, so The Mask in 4 and 5 is like completely weird and cheesy and not cool. Let me see if I can find it, but I will, while I'm looking for that. Nick, what did you think of The Mask in this movie?
It's more menacing. I don't know. It's more it's more intimidating than the other two. I could say that. Because part 5, everyone compares that mask to it's pretty much dubbed the Nicolas Cage face mask.
The one from
I think
4 and 5?
it's I don't know, maybe it's the hair for me and on the mask that's a little off, but I think it's an overall nice design.
This mask is probably the only one out of all the movies that looks as similar to the original mask, if I had to choose. So
It's crazy. The closest way. I mean, considering part 2 is the same as the first one, just reshaped because of someone's head.
reshaped.
Well, yeah, got passed on like a hand-me-down.
While that one is uploading, you also get introduced to Beth and Tim, who are like having the whole party / Halloween get together for the town of Haddonfield. It's pretty much a let's get back to celebrating Halloween. We shouldn't live under the covers because of what happened here in the past, which I thought was a pretty cool concept. Stating as like the other movies didn't ever think of that idea, like, hey, let's not celebrate Halloween because of the death and the murders, you know. There's that god awful mask.
Oh my god!
there. Yeah,
Jump scare. Nah.
it's terrible. It's terrifying. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, as a kid, you really don't think about things like that. Now as an adult, everyone's kind of going back into like trashing on it. But as a kid, I mean, it did the job. I don't know how to
Which
put
movie
it.
was that one?
Return, part 4.
Yeah, that was Halloween part 4, and then they use the same mask in 5. So,
But I don't know if we call it a fun fact at all. I mean, it's kind of known information. The same actor for that movie is actually the same actor. Body, or what do you call him? Stuntman.
stunt double.
The same person who does this movie. So it's essentially the same guy who does the Myers, just different masks. So 4 and 6 was the same guy. Fortunately, he did pass away. I think maybe a year, or it could have been 2 years ago.
That's so weird how they do stuff like that. Like he's the same guy from 4 and 6, but he didn't do 5.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't available that day or that month.
How
I think
many
that's
different
probably-
ones have there been?
People.
Yeah.
Well, you got Nick Castle, the original. I mean, then again, that was being passed around by pretty much a lot of people that was on the set. But I mean, he was the main person for that one. Part 2 was done by a guy named Dick Warlock. 4, 6, same guy. 5 was, I believe, a guy named Don Shanks. I believe that's his name. And
Don Shanks.
that's such a killer name. Actual Resurrection. I think those 2 different guys.
Yeah.
Rob Zombies is done by Tyler Mane, who used to be a wrestler.
He's in a lot of other like big horror movies too, kind of, right? Isn't he in Hatchet? Or is that a different guy?
Hatchet's done by Kane Hodder, who was Jason. He's like pretty much the definitive Jason at this point because he's done the most roles.
Kane Hodder.
And then James G. Courtney was the last recent one for the Blumhouse trilogy.
What do you think about this one as far as like that storyline about getting back to celebrating Halloween? And that's obviously the kind of the final nail in the coffin about Tim, Beth, like they all get their comings then. Like that's the, you know, after the DJ, the radio DJ gets his, it's like boom, there goes Tim, there goes Beth, the doctor and the now you would call it what, the orderlies or whatever, the hospital kidnaps the Tommy and the kid, the baby. Then they go back to the psych ward. I got to tell you, the scene where the crazy lady jumps out and Paul Rudd's like, "What the hell's going on?" Like that scene still kind of gets me to this day. She's just a creepy old looking lady.
I remember watching that scene last night. So what the? It almost looks like a witch. No Season of the Witch there.
Season of the Witch. What were they doing in that room where they were all like, looked like they were about to perform surgery, and Michael goes in there and just tears them up? What were they really doing? Can you really, like, I was paying attention, I'm looking into that room, but I'm like, wait a minute, is the baby in there? Were they about to do like the ritual, like a sacrifice? And if so, why were they dressed up like doctors?
Oh yeah. I mean, the whole thing is kind of weird. Because the theatrical one's gonna throw you the hell off. The producer's cut's more in line with the whole cult story. I don't know. Yeah, this is the storyline within the theatrical that's very confusing.
I think that's also another reason why Franco is just like, fast forward to the ending.
Tell you, I
This-
watched it, half of it yesterday. It was my phone, the majority of it. I was like, I need to pay attention to this movie. I'll watch it again tomorrow. And then today, I don't know. It threw me off. The cult threw me off to begin with. And then I was just like, I don't know. I just can't get into this movie.
So after the abduction and they do the little ritual, Myers just tears everybody up, which I think is a pretty cool scene. This movie is a lot more violent and gory than I would probably say 3, 4, and 5 put together. They really went really, really dark with this one, even in the theatrical cut. So I do appreciate about this one.
Yeah, I didn't expect that either.
What about the scene where they're down in like some kind of boiler room and they just eject Michael with like all this this poison, this goo, whatever's inside these needles,
The ooze.
and then Paul Rudd just wails on him with the bat, right? I always liked that ending, but it was also just left for, dude, he's gonna get up. What'd you guys think of that? The pounding of Michael Myers.
The pounding.
He will die tonight.
The Batman, because he does it again and kills. No, I mean, I think I prefer Halloween 5's beatdown. Because, I mean, Loomis actually puts performance in that.
Yeah, and it is October, so it's like, hunt for the October baseball swinging away kid. But he's left laying there. The ending was kind of, it is what it is. With them saying, "Hey, come with us," and Loomis is like, "I got some unfinished business to do." He goes back, or does he go back? You just hear, if you have the subtitles on, it's Loomis moaning and screaming. But what do you guys think happens? Do you think he goes back to try to finish the job and Michael gets him? Or what's the ending in you guys' thoughts?
It's a scene that didn't make it on that cut, honestly. I think that's what happened. The audio doesn't match the theatrical.
So that's what we're talking about is the theatrical. So
Yeah.
I haven't remembered in a while. At the end of the director's cut or the unrated cut, what's the ending?
I mean, on that other end, they're like in a whole lit up hallway. It's pretty silly when you think about it, because they have like it's a circular with like what it was like stones or something like that, and then Myers in the middle. You can't cross it. What Loomis does? I can't remember. It's like a transfer, but I mean, honestly, the little, I guess you want to call it a tattoo on Michael's wrist, it transfers to Loomis like magically, and he does that yell, that moan towards the end of the movie. It just kind of cuts off like that.
Oh man, see, I don't think I like that ending.
That ending.
At
see what
least
that audio dubs.
Yeah, at least this ending, Loomis, your imagination is kind of like, whoa, what's happening? Did Michael get up and is he strangling Loomis? Like with Franco, like you haven't seen the producer's cut. So what was your take on the ending? When you heard Loomis screaming and just the shots of the pumpkin and the jack-o'-lantern?
I assumed he was still alive, but he just took him. Which, I mean, I think while I was reading on it, it said he died he passed away, I think, a few weeks after filming. So I was like, okay, it's a good way to put it. Give him let his character go out like that. You don't need to have his character again anymore. Which I don't know if his character wasn't anymore, but
just in the reboots of the Rob Zombie ones, yeah. So yeah, I mean, it ends with the Loomis moan, the Loomis screeching.
Excuse me?
And then, isn't there another final shot? Is the mask just laying there by itself, right? In the theatrical cut? Like you get a wide shot of the mask just laying there by itself, and then you hear the moaning and the screaming, and then the movie's over?
I don't remember all mine.
I don't remember it playing. I mean, I just remember, all I remember is it shows the house and you hear him pretty much say "now," as he did in the ending in part 4. It's almost a callback there.
Yeah. Let's get into. Let's ask who's hot in this
Me.
in this segment before we get to a favorite death or kill or scene.
All
There
right.
was some steamy scenes.
And we can't say Beth. No, I'm just messing with you.
Damn it! Um, what was it? I'll go with the brother's girlfriend. I mean, sure, why not?
Beth. I'm gonna go with Deborah, the mom. No, I'm just messing with you.
Oh shit! Just go straight with John, man. I like the way he slaps.
Oh,
What?
Franco, you have a pick?
The ageless Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah, you did say Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
All right.
The death-defying Paul Rudd. I'm gonna go Donald Pleasance. I think that leathery-looking skin was perfect for this movie, and he definitely did want me to. He made me want to reach out and talk to my local therapist here. So,
Even after all those years after the second movie, he was still hot.
it was the screaming at the end that got me.
That was the moaning.
Favorite kill and favorite scene. I'll go first since this was my pick. Favorite kill. I'm honestly gonna probably have to go with. I like the mom's death. Honestly, do I like her being just chased around, and then she moves one of the sheets, and he's just standing there with the axe, which is a weapon that he has really not used a lot for any kills in this franchise. I just thought he looks cool sitting there with the axe, and then it leaves you for the imagination to think about what he hacked up with her. So, it's favorite kill, and then if I had to name a favorite scene, you know what? I like one that's kind of creepy to me has always been the beginning, where he pops out of the darkness and he attacks the nurse. That's kind of like your first reimagination vision of the 90s Michael Myers. So if I had to pick one scene, that would be the scene. Nick?
I would probably go with John Strode's death. But that scene you did mention, him using the axe, that's such a cool shot. I even have it on I have a backpack of that exact image. But I'm gonna throw a least favorite moments. I think just the overall them killing off Jamie Lloyd's character, and of course it not being played by Daniel Harris was one of those big things for people.
I'm gonna kind of list two. My favorite kill scene was at the beginning. The nurse hits impels her head on the fucking spike. But that was cool. And then my favorite scene was the dad. You said John Strode, when he finds the bloody in the washer, and he dies as well.
Nice little death.
He deserved it.
He did deserve it. I like the negative bring up, Nick. Frankie, what about you? I know you kind of were into the movie and it was like an oldie for you, but like, what's another big like, man? Besides the cult and the story kind of being all over, is there something else that you're just like, not for me?
I want to say those are the main gripes I had, was the cult, because I didn't know what the fuck it was, and then it being old. But
Mine would be, if I had a big gripe about this movie, it would be the scene where Paul Rudd is explaining kind of the whole moonlighting and the whole symbol. I didn't really care too much for that explaining of the symbol. And then I'm also like, who in the hell was able to get Michael Myers down for a tattoo? Like, who put that tattoo on him? Obviously, I know they explained it that it's like just a message or a symbol that just is like pops up on him. Nick, you explained it in the producer's cut. It pops up on Loomis, but yeah, that'd probably be mine.
Probably gave it to when he was like a child early on.
That's funny. Travis says Mrs. Strode walking around dressed like George Lucas.
Well, here's another scene I wanted to throw out. That's it's a little.
That's a good scene we didn't really talk on, because she's the one that was technically babysitting Michael Myers the night he killed his sister. Interesting.
But the scene with the little girl kind of dancing around the tree. What was she singing? That was like was it Red Rain or something like that, along the lines of that. And of course you see the body just fall from the tree. It's like
Halloween
it's an
decoration.
innocent but creepy scene in that moment.
It's warm rain.
It's warm. What?
Red rain. Red rain.
Not wrong with ass.
Man. Let's get into Trejos rating. How many Danny Trejos? How many machetes does this movie get? He's kind of holding a little machete right there. Little kitchen knife. I'm just getting ready to make a bologna sandwich.
About to spread them up.
I'll go first. My pick. This movie doesn't really age that well, but since it's a little near and dear to my heart, I think I'm going to give this movie a 3. Going back and just looking at the whole franchise, I think it's definitely better than 4 and 5. So yeah, I'm gonna give this movie a 3.
I'll give it a 2. 2 machetes.
Dos Sakis.
I feel like I'm being generous on it too.
Mr. 4K.
I'll give it a generous 3.5, 3 loaded, 3 out of 5. Tortugas, chetes. Yeah, I mean, it's there. It's a 90s Michael Myers film. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'd say maybe producer's cut's probably still my favorite way of watching it. Even though theatrical, I like how they got a little bit more brutal in that cut. The producer kind of they try to stay true to the actual, because they play the Halloween scores and that.
That they do. So that would be our rating. Next up, guys, we're not done with the month of October. Next up, we are talking Terrifier 3, which, if you're listening or watching this live, it comes out tonight, Thursday, October 17th or October 10th. But that's what we're talking about next week. Next Thursday, October 17th, 8 p.m. Go check it out tonight, tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday. Check it out this weekend, and come back and listen to our conversation all about that. If you want to rewatch 1 and 2, I believe they are available on the Peacock. And yeah, let's kind of everybody else what we're talking about for the rest of the month. The 24th of October, Nick, little Magic Mike. I mean Magic.
Oh shit, Shang-Chi Young's gonna come out. Yeah, but this one was more like a psychological thriller. I mean, it's still within the horror subgenre.
Do you have this? Do you have the physical copy on this one?
No, I mean, this is kind of like one of the first times hearing about it. You know, this is a movie from like 2013, I believe. I was like, it's gonna be fun. Michael Cera, horror theme movie.
Have we not seen it before?
No, I mean, at least not on my end.
Magic.
I feel like we said it before.
And then call me cliche, cheesy, but October 30th, the day before Halloween, we talk. This is the next movie in the installment, Part 7, Halloween H2O, 20 years later. Josh Hartnett, LL Cool J, Michelle Williams, Jamie Lee Curtis. To me, and I'll talk about it in an episode, the reason I picked this is I wanted y'all's opinion. Nick, I kind of think I know where you might go, but I think this is the original and the true ending, how the entire Halloween story should end. And we'll get into a little bit later.
This ain't the one Busta Rhymes?
That movie does not exist.
I was excited for it because I was like, oh, but hey, Busta Rhymes.
I burned my.
That's the
copy
season
last
finale
year.
of our podcast.
All right, throw my pick into it with the one
Or
Busta
just
Rhymes. Following
the series
following
finale.
episode.
We'll take Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 out now. Which that's how we're gonna open up November. That's gonna be a fun episode. I saw that the other day too, just like when you said that's on Peacock.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if did it get a physical media release, Nick?
Oh yeah. When they at a Walmart I went to, they only had the DVD, but I know there's a Blu-ray steelbook out there.
I'll go check it out. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a fun month of October. Something old, something new, and everything in between. So should be fun. Terrifier 3 next week. What are you guys doing this weekend? Anything you want to talk about before we head on to next week?
Watch Terrifier 3 tonight after this podcast. But tomorrow I'm in San Antonio for TWA, their biggest show of the year so far. Brick Savage, Aaron Mercer, Stud Stash, Drew Dredd, Corvus and Ricky. Was a double dog color match they're gonna have for main event.
Oof.
And then Saturday will be in Odessa for Old School Wrestling. So that's gonna be fun. Yeah, that's all I got this weekend.
Busy. OU Texas plays this weekend. That's an all-day Saturday event for me. Cookout. Get a little chocolate wasted. If Texas loses, I am officially retiring from podcasting. I'm not coming back at all. No, I'm just messing with you. Go see Joker this weekend. If you guys haven't seen it, go see Terrifier 3. Go see something. And then join us next Tuesday on the Cinnamon Movie Podcast. I'll be talking about Scary Movie.
Next week we're gonna have
Oh shit! Right here.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Well,
That wasn't
Nick,
planned.
I like it.
next week we're gonna have which is the clown of the year for you, Juan?
There you
Joker
go.
or Terrifier?
Hey, we could talk about our top 5 clowns next week.
I don't like clowns, so no.
Don't go voting this year then. Oh. Nick, what about you? What are you doing this week?
Partying all weekend.
Hell yeah.
Partying hard. That's what I'm talking about. Get your hands on some Dr. Pepper. Don't touch that other stuff you were touching, all right?
Don't do it.
Don't do it. That's it for me. Unless you guys have anything else you want to talk about, we can head on to next week. So, everybody, join us next week for a brand new episode of Friday the 14th podcast as we get into Terrifier 3.
Oh, wrong movie there.
Wrong movie.
I can't wait for that one though.
Yeah, did you pick that one right? Where's that streaming at? Is that on the Peacock as well?
It's
Right?
on Tubi, but what are those streams?
One of those streams?
Oh yeah. Definitely on Tubi.
Magic.
Yeah, Tubi.
Sponsored.
We need to get in contact with them because we should do something about that. Yeah. Anyway, should be fun. Next week, Terrifier 3. I'm glad this isn't one of those movies that's also going straight to streaming because the other two are on Peacock. I heard a little something that this one might go straight to streaming, but it's not. So thank goodness. But yeah. Join us next week. New episode, Friday the 14th podcast, Terrifier 3. Go check it out in theaters. Have a good week, guys.
Stay ultra.
Peace, love, tacos.
Hook 'em.